Hey there, friends. How are you? Ricardo back again to talk a little bit about the Age of Gemini. And basically, the Age of Gemini took place between the years of 6600 to 4400 before Christ. And the sign of Gemini is a sign of air element, of mutable quality and positive polarity. Gemini is a sign of dualities, and at the same time, it represents rational and irrational side of human beings, or animal side, of course, and or civilized side. This duality is also present in the material and spiritual elevation that air signs promote. Air signs are basically responsible for communication and transition of ideas. So, in fact, is the element most connected to our human side, being the only zodiacal element that has no animal representation. It also enables us to learn, to relate, and it is who creates societies and bonds between men. So, by the way, air signs are not only Gemini, okay, there are three of them. So basically, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And the transition from Cancer to Gemini era brought a very great need for human beings to adapt. The progress of the great civilizations was taking the place of barbarism in the world. This era is particularly marked by legends and myths about twin brothers like Osiris and Seth in Egypt. It was the new civilization. Osiris, in one hand, represented civilization and its progresses, and in contrast to the old ways of doing things, with Seth symbolizing bestiality and barbarism. Another example is in Christian mythology, where Abel symbolizes civility and Cain, of course, the worst side of human beings, and in bestiality as well. Another thing is that in Gemini, intellect and communication dominated humanity as a whole. Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury, which is the god of communication and the great messenger. The most important landmark of this era was the discovery of the ability to write, or writing as a whole, because in this way the information started to be stored, yes, kept, to be used at any time, and of course for our evolution and improvement. The movement of the human body is also something governed by Gemini. And at that time, the wheel was also invented to be used with animal work. So, which means things were actually becoming more rationalized, and in order to make human beings' lives easier, generally speaking. So, in addition, society begins to structure itself, not only politically, but also in terms of becoming more able to educate itself, where the first schools also appear in order for human beings to learn. Other interesting thing about it is that in Egypt appears the great figure of Hermes, and he was the king of that time. He was not only the king but also legislator, priest, father of the physical sciences, and creator of the numbers and writing too. Also geometry, and of course among probably many other things that we don't know exactly. So I think this is enough for today. So once again, I would like to thank you very much for listening and following. So I will continue with the Age of Taurus. So that's going to be next time. Take care.